Alright, winners. So we are back for take 2 of this chapter because my Elgato and my
We
system
won't
decided
be
to
able
lock
to
up.
see the burial site from here. It's on the other side of the dam. Come on.
So, who are the four guys on top of that thing?
No one. They represent the four sources of energy: water, air, solar, and gas.
No emulsion?
The dam was built pre-emulsion.
Wow, it's that old. There's hardly anything left that's that old.
There are still a few things.
Hinting here that Marcus here was pre-emulsion. So I enjoy the fact that we're also getting a little bit look into the history of this universe. It begins to solidify the lore that's only been established in the books and the graphic novels, which I think a lot of games personally do a really good job at incorporating.
Looked up how many local burial sites there actually were, and I got a big old classified.
There were dozens of them. Maybe even hundreds.
They can't all be infested, right?
Well, we're gonna find out, one way or another.
What I really enjoy here is, like I said, we're starting to hear more about one prior to the first game, as we actually got to play through like the Asphalt Fields area, and then if you play Judgment, it also shows you some of the other places and other areas. The books also give you a hint on Bernie or Ty, who are from the island nations of Sarah, so their cultures are a little bit different, and it looks like Kate and her mother might be of similar descent there.
Take him out before the wind flare hits!
Now, one of the parts of that I really really enjoy about that is one, it makes the universe feel more alive, which is something that is needed in a lot of games. You need to have a point where your world feels like it's not just some stagnant shooting gallery as it sometimes can with a lot of shooters. And I feel like this game does probably one of the best jobs of that, Halo being a very close second. Resistance, if you guys remember, I enjoyed listening to the radio, and I would stop every time that we would see a radio so we could hear what was happening in the outside world. So even though it felt like an isolated incident, it's not. It's still it's still something that's affecting in the outside world. Even though we're like getting snippets of it, it makes sense for thematically of what's going on. In Resistance, it was like, okay, there's a radio station still working. We only get access to it sometimes. Maybe the wind has to blow just right. Any other number of reasons that could happen.
Too late! Wind flare's here! We gotta push the tower. We can take shelter there.
Swarm! Up ahead!
Frag out!
So I also like how the battles here personally go. It feels like the wind flare really does mess with you, so you have to use the hazards in the area that are around you to make it a viable working option. Versus just like, oh no, it'll be okay, just keep fighting like you would. It doesn't feel like that's going to always be the safest option. Oh, that would take out both of them. Okay. Sometimes I can't always tell exactly how things are going to break apart. So that's why I'll hold or I won't shoot. Probably what would seem to be the most like optimal way. I enjoy that flash of lightning. That actually visibly made me jump here because it was startling. Like, you know the wind flare is going on, but when you even look at thunderstorms and lightning storms nowadays, you get a good crash and it'll start you. It'll make you jump in a heartbeat. Occasionally I see those blue barrels there, and I'm like, oh, is that like a shield barrier, or why did this get down a shield barrier?
Don't stop!
And I do apologize if I sound a little bit different today. I've been battling a really bad summer cold. Now this is a spot that has given me a lot of trouble in the past. It's a really cool idea. It's a really fun mechanic. I'm glad it doesn't overstay its welcome, even though when it kills you 800 times, you will easily feel that it has overstayed its welcome. But those little blasts will hit you, stun you, and then all of a sudden you'll be dead. So it's one of those things where I'm just like, thank God I made it through that on the first shot. And I enjoyed this to show you exactly how strong they are. They've already said the old cog machinery earlier in the game was built to last. It was built to go on, not be pretty, not be aesthetically, not be like, oh, this is so aesthetically awesome. It's, no, it works and it goes and it moves through shit.
Storm wall passed.
So the fact that that storm
lost our way up.
took it out, I think, is actually a really nice feature for it, just to show what it can do.
Or does it feel like this entire plan is trying to kill us?
Definitely not just you.
Last I heard, the cog was blaming the bad weather on holes in the planetary crust.
Holes in the ozone.
Before that, it was sunspots. Then atmospheric distortion. Who the hell knows?
Well, look at that. One of Jen's birds went down.
Maybe they're salvage.
I like that they're having similar issues that we are. When emulsion came through, like gas, natural gas, like it looked like they were using everything pretty equally.
I can't let him go to waste.
It looks like they were using all the different pieces of it pretty equally. So I must have backslid bumped down the difficulty. I'm sorry, winners. Let's see. Yeah. I like how I can't just like reach over and grab them wherever. Now I also want to talk about the design for the locust here. I like that they oh, that's a bummer. I thought I'd kill him. I like that, like, when they come out of the ground, like the old emergence holes, they would look dusty, but because it looks like cocoons and not the exact same thing, they also now appear to be a little bit more fleshy and gooey. If that makes sense to you guys, like there's a little bit more of like a goo color to them, and like that soft, squishy jelliness that humans typically have, or seen as having. So I enjoy that there's slight variations to them, but they still overall look the same, and then it still lends itself to the whole belief of like, no, this is what's going on in this universe. This is now getting into where do they come from? What does all this mean? What's it gonna do? I lost my mulcher, son of a bitch.
So, Marcus, it seems like you've been here before.
A long time ago. Official cog business, you could say.
That doesn't sound like fun.
It wasn't.
Okay, this might be a problem.
This whole place is infested.
Then we clear it out. And you're out.
Now, this is also another spot too, because I think it shows us a good bit into like who Marcus is as a character outside of just being a soldier.
Look out! Sniper!
How did that grenade not kill you when it landed right next to us? Questions I have. Your head, go away. Sniper buddy, come here, bro. You, I have high ground. You should be dead. Good, you're dead.
Gonna have to throw faster than that.
He was not worried about me at all. He was just like, nope, I can see you. I got this. You asshole! He ran up and smacked me in the face with a grenade. I am so lucky that thing killed me. Oh, you bastard! Oh, there's some Jim's Bops there. Okay. Yeah. I had to reload, so I lost a lot of the stuff I had, like, been using. I love how you smack it a few times, like, oh, it's not working, let me just keep hitting it until the release goes off.
Main gate sealed.
Bet we can open it in that security station.
Which I was just in. I like how it gives you the sniper rifle there, because typically the sniper rifle is a really good way to solve a lot of issues. And even in this particular portion of the game, like it's very tempting to go for it, especially if you're not knowing what's coming up next. Not as good with the sniper rifle, so that's just why I typically avoid it, as most of my friends will tell you. If you ever see me play with the AR guys, like Jay, Chaos, all of them are very good with the sniper rifles in most games, so I just leave it up to them.
After the war, we weren't thinking about the dead. We were dealing with the living. Come on, this way.
Take that.
So once again, this is still showing you that rebuilding process, something that we don't see in a lot of games. Getting back to it, in the earlier parts, it was like, oh, I don't like to be told that I have to have a kid. But at the same time, it's like, we need to repopulate. Like, as a species, we took a great hit.